Namaste everyone, I'm Amanda. I run a yoga studio in Sydney called Flying Yogis. We're known quite well for our kids yoga, but our adult style of yoga is quite unique as we blend hatha yoga traditions with some of acro and tumbling techniques. This evening, while the sun sets over one of Sydney's most incredible spots, I'm going to teach you an open level flowing practice. It's got quite a few challenges and it's suitable for intermediate to experienced practitioners. I'd love you to enjoy the beats of one of my dear friends and beloved progressive house DJs. His name is Nico Moreira. I'm honoured he created this set for me, but yogis, please check him out on SoundCloud and practice away through the sunset to his delicious beats. I'd love you to enjoy the practice. Please be safe, know your limitations, and let's begin. So just taking a couple of side stretches, try to make sure that the opposite bottom stays on the ground. Extending your left leg out and forward fold. Take a few breaths, flex the foot, and then opening up, come onto your shins. Open up and open your chest towards the sky. And let's change legs. Forward folding over the right leg. Lift and lengthen the front body. And now opening all the way up. Stretching the whole front body again. Now let's come into our cat and cow. Angry cat humps the back. Happy cat sinks the back down. Moving into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And pedaling, just doing what your body needs to open up. Maybe lifting one leg and then the other. Whatever your body needs, wiggle around. You might need to stretch your shoulders more, your hamstrings. Come up onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees and press the belly deep into the thighs. And walk your feet to the top of the mat. Uttanasana fold. If you can't double over, bend your knees. And then bringing your arms all the way up to standing and then come to mountain pose. Okay. Laterally flex into a half moon shape, a crescent moon shape to each side. And let's start a dynamic breathing practice. We're going to be performing Kapalabhati breath as we move and punch from side to side. Kapalabhati is where we force our exhales. Keep going, expelling the tension of the day and of the week out of your system. Don't stop until all the tension is gone. Once you're feeling a tingle in your body, fold down into forward bend and rest. So we're going to start our salutes. Very simple. Arms up. Exhale, palms down. Right leg back on the knee on the ground. Exhale into child's pose. Knees, chest, chin and cobra on your inhale. Downward dog as you exhale. Right foot forward, left knee grounds. Left foot forward, fold. Arms all the way up, inhale. Exhale. The salute is simple, but it keeps moving. Exhale down. Left leg back. Child's pose as you exhale. Cobra, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Left foot forward. Right leg forward. Coming all the way up to standing, inhale. Exhale. Hands to prayer at the chest. I'll just talk the breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Doing the left leg on your own. One breath per pose. Keep breathing, keep moving. Take a gentle breath in and out. Open the heart space, push the hips forward. Raise the chest to the sky and the arms back. Make sure you don't stiffen the spine in this pose, and exhale, folding down, forward bend. Right leg back, knee grounds. Left knee sinks over the toes and deep lunge. Scoop the hips forward. And if you like, this is an option, bend the back knee in and bring the heel in towards the buttock, otherwise keeping both arms in the air. Remember, this practice suits various levels. Don't do all the extreme options. Move to plank, push down. Urdhva Mukha and Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take a few breaths here. With every exhale, squeeze the belly in. Uddiyana Bandha, very detoxifying for the digestive organs and the energy centers. Bringing the right leg forward, left knee grounds. Right knee tracks over the toes. And once again, arms over the head. Don't forget the option of bending your back knee in, you'll pass the buttock, or keeping your arms over your head. Hands down and move into downward dog. Roll to your high plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, inhale, hold. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your time. Raise your right leg in the air behind you. Try not to collapse the left hip. If you've got the balance, raise your left arm as well. If you are struggling, keep weight in the right hand and the left foot and play around with it. The more you practice, the better you get. Let's come to a high lunge. This is where the knee isn't on the ground, but you're going to sink your hip. Left hand down and twist towards the right. The more you bring your left shoulder to the right knee, the more you can open. Coming into reverse warrior. Mindful transitions between each pose. Warrior 2. And coming into side angle pose. Here I'm performing the easy option, followed by bringing the hand down. Maybe bringing the arm behind the back into a bind. But this is only if you don't have shoulder injuries. Back to warrior 2. Moving into your triangle posture and breathing. Remember, in this practice we focus on the mindful transitions between the postures as well as the grace in the postures themselves. Now for rotated triangle, you need to bring the feet a little closer together, swap the hands and twist. Try not to drop the left hip. Feel like you are rinsing and wringing through the navel. Swing your leg up in the air or just come back to downward dog. You could keep your leg in the air for chaturanga or move into plank, push down, up dog and down dog. And take some breaths. Raising the left leg in the air behind you. If you've got the balance, raise the right arm and keep the left leg lifting. Otherwise, just play around with the weight distribution. High lunge. Right hand down and twist. Reverse the warrior. If you've got the flexibility, reach for the opposite thigh. Past Konasana, side angle posture. Once again, going into the versions that suit you. Back to triangle. Try and move your right shoulder blade back into an imaginary wall. Take your breaths and then coming to rotated triangle. Thinking about graceful transitions, avoiding superfluous movements. And hands down, rest over the leg. and then swinging the left leg all the way back into your three-legged downward dog, and work on the chaturangas that suit you. This three-legged dog requires strong back muscles and a lot of practice. Take some breaths in your downward dog. This time we're raising the left leg. Bend the knee in a hip yawn. Good. Now if you've got the balance, see if you can raise your right hand, or perhaps even grab a hold of the left foot and pull the leg, energize the leg, pull on the leg. Great. And from here we're going to come into a low lunge again. Sinking down. Bring your left fingers down on the outside edge of the hip and bring your right arm over the head. And then coming to the other side. These lateral flexions open the heart and the chest. Make you more flexible for your back bends. We're going to rotated side angle posture. I love this pose. It can be quite advanced, but it starts off easy just with our right shoulder blade over the left knee. Then straighten the back leg. Then see if you could bind. This takes balance. It also takes quite strong shoulders and shoulder flexibility. Don't whack your arm into the pose. Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. The next posture is called humble warrior. Try to keep your hips square and your shoulder bending down onto the inside edge of the knee. If you'd like to bind, you can. Once again, releasing tension in the shoulders. Pasvottanasana. This is a forward fold over the front leg. If you can't double over the front leg, bend the back knee. Eventually moving into a standing split. It's still your left foot that is on the ground. It's leading the whole way in the pose. Recreate your downward dog with your right leg and swing your left leg all the way up. Now here is where we can prepare for forearm balance. Maybe just pulsing your leg up, getting more flexible, or coming into a split forearm balance. Just play around with it. If you need to go to a wall to practice, do so, or drop your foot down onto a sofa or a bed, please, by all means, have a go. Now from here, raising the right leg, bending the knee. See if you can catch the foot with your left hand and pull the foot as far away from you as you can. Bring the right foot forward and left knee down and come into your lunge. Right fingers down, left arm over. Just drop the fingers in line with the hip. If they don't touch the ground, don't worry. Enjoy the depth of the stretch. Eventually arms over the head. Rotated side angle posture. Parivrtta Pasvottanasana. Once again, remembering the levels that suit your body and your physical condition. In this practice, we assume you've been taught various poses like this before, and you are either comfortable with the versions that you choose, or you know what you are working towards. Reverse your warrior. And coming into your humble warrior. In this warrior sequence, try not to have to straighten your leg, the bent knee. It's a little bit of a mental challenge. Swinging the right leg back, coming into your forearm balance, and either pulsing the leg or coming into your forearm split. This posture requires strong shoulders, and a little tip for coming up gracefully in the pose: think of jumping or walking your bottom over your head. Try not to think of kicking your legs over your head. It's the bottom over the head that nails the balance. Adho Mukha, rolling to plank, and downward dog. I do a few of these before I start some handstands and bunny hops because it engages the shoulders and the neck in a suitable way. First bunny hop's about to happen. Focus on keeping your legs together and trying to get your heels to your buttocks. The next thing, try to get your bottom over your head. If you can work towards handstands, do so. Otherwise, try a few more bunny hops or moving from plank to downward dog. Trying it a few more times. Eventually, you can rest in Uttanasana, which is standing forward bend at the top of your space. Folding. If you can't stretch all the way down, bend your knees. That's right. We don't want a curved back. We want bent knees, or if you are able to double over, straighten your legs. Interlace your fingers behind the head. It's a great cure for after working on a computer all day or after handstands. Now raising all the way up to complete the salute and hands to prayer at the chest. So now we're going to do a little bit of balance. I find the key to balance is more than just finding that spot to gaze at. I like to think into my foot. Make sure the big toe isn't wobbling, and think into all four edges. This sequence brings the leg forward, to the side, and into the beautiful Natarajasana dancer's pose. Kick that leg up high in the air behind you. And then coming gracefully down. Remember, I talked about the transitions. I'm also quite obsessed, really, with landing correctly, exiting postures correctly. Oops, there's a bit of a fall. Thinking about the graceful movements between the poses. Thinking into the foot, bringing the leg out wide. Natarajasana. And very slowly, when you are ready, moving back into mountain pose. So this posture has a few variations. You can do your basic tree or your half lotus forward bend. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this sequence. If you half bind and bring your hands down by your foot, right hand down by the right foot, and you could stay in your forward bend. If you know any variations you like to do with this pose, please do so. Or see if you can bring your left hand down, rearrange yourself, and jump yourself up into a half lotus handstand. Remember, this is optional. You can just practice your jumps or stay in the forward bend. From half lotus handstand, move into your lotus. Remember, we are offering some stronger variations for experienced practitioners. They're not compulsory. Let's try our other legs. See how you go. Tree pose, Vrikshasana, or half lotus forward fold, or your fancy variations. In our classes, we talk a lot about overcoming mental issues on the mat so that we can deal with difficulties in life off the mat. So I find these quite progressive postures take a lot of work. Nobody is born doing this stuff. It takes practice, working through issues in your body and finding issues in your mind. Let's go back to our salutes. Arms up on the inhale. We are moving towards our floor poses. How open can you get your heart without straining your back? My trick is my hip flexors. I push them forward. Exhale, hands down by your feet. Look up, wall and head down. Walking or jumping back to chaturanga and up dog and downward facing dog. So here we're going to raise the left leg and kick it behind. If you are comfortable to drop the leg down into a wild thing, do so, and you can either stretch the arm back or move into your first back bend. These progressive classes are famous for its various variations on the back bend. You'll do a lot of back bends in these classes. So if you've got any weakness in your back, we have techniques to strengthen them. These lunges are great. But what we're going to be doing now is opening the hips, opening the hamstrings and the glutes to prepare for our deep back bends. So we're going to come into a mermaid pose, bending the right heel in, bringing the instep into the elbow and into connecting the fingers. Some of you very flexible people could possibly reach your arms over your head and grab the foot. So now we're going to work towards Hanumanasana, the splits. If you are not comfortable with it, grab something underneath your hips or just stay working, stretching your hamstrings. Now we are going to work into one of our Ekapada Rajakapotasana variations. So if you need to bring your knee in, please do so. Or you can stay in Hanuman. We're going to be bringing the knee in like this. If you would prefer, and you've got the flexibility to stay in Hanuman, start to bend the back knee in. You can use a belt to help you get the foot. This takes a lot of practice. Some people find it very easy. I never did. But once you have it, it's quite a glorious pose. So take your time to work into the pose. Understand that mastering the pose either comes very naturally for people built that way, or if you're a bit like me, it takes years. And then release the spine, folding forward over your pigeon. Here's a fun one. Bring your hands down, come into a low chaturanga, up dog and down dog. Raising the right leg, kicking it over, working eventually into either your wild thing or your deep back bend. Use your thighs to bring your chest over your wrists. We're going to swing back around and kick that right leg in the air and bring the foot all the way forward. Crescent lunge, working into your mermaid variations. Bending the back knee in. You'll feel a great opening through the quad and the hip flexor, eventually giving your spine strength and mobility. So once again, you're going to work towards Hanumanasana, the splits. And see the variations. You could also work into your Ekapada to do these quad and hip flexor variations. Take some breaths. This is exactly the kind of pose which challenges your breath, challenges your fears, challenges your mind. And resting in your pigeon pose when you are ready. Take a few breaths. Coming into low chaturanga, upward dog, and then downward facing dog. So now that our spines are getting flexible, why don't you try a few inversions up against a wall? First one is once again the forearm balance, maybe working into options for scorpion, Vricikasana. A beautiful posture. Try and bring your shoulders a little bit over the inner forearms. You can either try your forearm balance, your splits, stag style poses, or scorpion poses. And resting in child's pose. So from now here on in, for the next few moments, we'll be working quite significantly on back bends. Please watch your spine. Please make sure that your legs are strong. For my camel, I keep my hands here specifically to get my glutes engaged and my hip flexors engaged. Even though this is the way to teach beginners camel, by holding their hips. People with a strong practice, experiment with not bringing your hands down immediately and letting the back and the front of the body do all the work. As you bring one hand down, either raise the other arm up or bring it all the way over your head and then swap. Alternating, maybe bringing the hand down to the ground behind you. This takes strong legs. If you don't have strong legs and you are trying this, you will definitely feel your legs over the next few days afterwards. These are the kind of preparations that make you prevent you from walking for the next couple of days. If you are comfortable with your full king pigeon, please go ahead and do it. Otherwise, resting your back in a child's pose. You can give your back a bit of a massage as well with your hands. We'll move, because our back is so warm, we'll move to Urdhva Dhanurasana. Here is where I invite you to come up into your own back bends or spend a few moments doing back bends of choice. Here I'm going to show you a few different types of push-ups you could do, bringing your head down and up. But you could also try to learn how to walk down the wall with your hands, drop back from standing, drop back from a handstand, kick over. You've got a few minutes to enjoy the music and to work on the back bends that you like, or just take a rest. Coming to your last variations of your back bends. If you really enjoy flips and walkovers, you can stop the video for a moment and do a few more. I've given you an idea of some fun things to work towards. Often requires quite a bit of either home furniture or yoga equipment to land on, to fall on, before you master them. The best neutralizing pose to relax after deep back bend practice is Supta Baddha Konasana. Stay there a few moments and then clamshell the legs shut from side to side with some spinal twists. Another great way to release the spine is via straddle pose. Laterally flexing to one side and then to the other side. Eventually we are going to stretch forward, so there are a few tricks for stretching forward. This flexibility comes from strong legs, and keep keeping that chest lifting. The minute you lower your chest down, the bend goes into the back and not the hips. We want to be able to bend from the hip flexors. The next leg stretch and hamstring stretch we've got is the supine leg stretch, stretching the leg towards the head, lifting the head up, and then maybe lowering the head down when you are ready. Bring the leg all the way out to the side. And then spinal twist. Okay, and coming to the other side, stretching the leg, trying to keep it as straight as you can. Maybe lift the head towards the shin. Flex the foot, deepens the hamstring stretch. Then from here out to the side. Then spinal rotation. I like to keep my knees bent for the knee bent for this posture, so I twist through the middle of the spine. If you like to keep the leg straight, you'll find a deep sciatic nerve stretch. So from here, we're going to work on a few arm balances. The first one is the crow. Some of you might try to handstand and land your knees into your triceps in the crow. If you are not working on that at the moment, you can come to a squat. Bring your knees into the armpit area and shift forward and lift. If you are still trying to balance, but just keep one toe on the ground as you lift the other leg. Once you've done about 5 or 6 breaths in this posture, jump back to plank. Come to up dog and then down dog. Now from here we're going to leapfrog. We're going to work into our Titibhasana, our firefly shapes. Bring your shoulders behind the knees. Wrap the arms behind the back. Interlace your fingers. And now see if you can go for a walk. It's quite an awkward pose. If you can't reach your fingers, try and wrap a belt around and reach for the belt and walk your hands closer. So this is also Titibhasana. The one before was Utthita Titibhasana. And this one is the firefly, legs up. We are going to move down into Supta Kumasana, the folded turtle or the sleeping turtle. I'm lying down, wrapping the arms, and once again, if you can't reach your fingers, please use a belt. Don't give up on the pose. This time back to Titibhasana. And work back to Chaturanga. That would have been a very strong forward bend, spinal flexion. So come into very gentle back arches, first on the chest, then lifting the body. Hold for a few breaths in Bhujangasana, cobra posture, and resting down. Cobra. So now we are coming to some of our final inversions. I always bring a headstand into my practice. Shirsasana is the king of all yoga poses. Many large studios don't focus on headstands due to the danger, but if you can grab a teacher to teach you how to do a headstand, and if you know how to do it safely, the longer you are in this posture, the better. Shirsasana, headstand and shoulder stand are known as complete poses. What this means is they contain every therapeutic benefit of an entire yoga practice. Staying there. Straddling down. Start to straddle one leg down and the other leg up. And back. And alternate. And back to the center. traveling all the way down if you can. Remember, keep the bottom over the head. That's how you stay in control. To release the head and the neck from the headstand, come into some cat-cow poses. And now we're moving to shoulder stand. So you can come to half shoulder stand or your full shoulder stand. In the full shoulder stand, the ankles, knees, hips, waist and shoulders line up. If you want to try some fancy variations, perhaps candlestick or near a lumbar unsupported, you could interlace your fingers behind the back. This evening I'm going to work into my lotus. I'm going to keep my knees up and then interlace my fingers. Close your eyes. Draw your gaze inwards on the third eye. At some point you might move into plow pose. You could move into plow, or like what I'm doing, you can bring your hands to your knees. It's like you're meditating upside down. You can either go from plow to knee to ear, or the pindasana in savangasana, the embryo in shoulder stand. Staying there, it's one of the deepest forward bends you could do. And from here to come out, drop your legs back or roll all the way down back to bridge. And you can either move into your fish poses. I like to do the full set of bandhasana and bring the forehead onto the ground and crunch my neck back. If you've got a strong neck or no fear in your neck, it's a wonderful pose. Here's your fish variation. It also brings the head back in a safer way. So after this quite physical practice, I recommend just a few moments of twisting to just sort out the last details in your spine. This is Matsya and Drasana, the Lords of the Fishes. Coming to the other side, cross the other leg over. And we are going to lie down for about 10 breaths before we do our seated breathing meditations. Just let everything relax, feel grounded, but energized. When you are ready, come up to seated, and we are going to do a breathing rhythm called Chandra Surya Kumbhaka, just like Nadi Shodhana. Choose your active nostril. You're going to inhale through your active nostril for 4 counts. You're going to hold the breath for 12 counts. You're going to exhale for 8 counts through your less active nostril. Then you're going to inhale through the less active nostril, 4 counts. Hold for 8 counts. And then exhale through the active nostril for 8 counts. Sorry, the rhythm is 4, 12, 8. What we're wanting is a ratio actually of 1, 3, 2. So if you're going to inhale for 5, you hold for 15 and you exhale for 10. Stay doing this breathing practice for as long as you are comfortable. This practice cleans the energy passages, the left and right energies in the body. It's a wonderful breathing exercise to do to prepare you for meditation. In your own time, when you have finished the round you're on, Come to a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana or lotus. Index finger and thumb in a circle, back of the hands and the knees. And stay in meditation for about 10, 15, 20 breaths, up to you, what you like. You can stop the video. And then I recommend a proper Shavasana of 10 minutes if you can. If you've got the luxury of time, lie down for 10 minutes and sort the body out. We hope you've enjoyed the practice today. Namaste.